out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boom, 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 boom. I appreciate the support. We out here, man. 33 years of prison stories. We rolling, man. We trying to save these young people out here, man, and keep them from this life of misery, man. That's our mission. That's our goal. We will reach it because we will reach some of them, if not all of them. So, you know, every life saved, man, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. So that's what we trying to do. So shout out to everybody who be hitting me in the comments and tell me, you know, that these stories have changed your perspective, have changed your mind, have changed your life in some type of way for the benefit, man. Y'all don't know that warms my heart, man, so I definitely appreciate it. And we can't stop, won't stop, man. We're going to keep on going, man. But today I wanted to talk to y'all about something a little different, man. I wanted to talk to y'all about this right here, man. I want to talk to y'all about this right here, the 50th law. The 50th law, man, 50 Cent and Robert Greene, right? I read this book, you know, and has a lot of things in it, a lot of knowledge in it, man. I read a lot of books, you know what I'm saying? I read, you know, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I guess that's a book that a lot of dudes in prison read, the dudes that's conscious and you know, try to elevate their thought process. And, you know, it's some dudes out here that read. A lot of dudes in the entertainment business, a lot of dudes that y'all would consider, you know, hustlers or movers or shakers. You know, 50 read the book, and I think that's how he, you know, wanted to connect with Robert Greene. But, you know, in reading the book and watching, from my perspective, watching 50 Cent from, you know, afar, never knowing him, never meeting him or anything like that, which I wouldn't mind doing one day, but just watching him and the way he moved and the way he done progressed from the rap to the you know, the TV and the movie industry, you know, I can get a concept of how his brain worked. And he's a survivor, man. I believe without a doubt in my mind that 50 could have, you know, he most definitely would have survived in prison. And he probably would have thrived in prison because of his mindset. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a certain type of mindset to deal with that prison stuff, man. You know, and you may not have that mindset, but you have to be able to go there. You have to be able to go into that mindset and then, you know, facilitate that. But that's where the tricky part come in, and a lot of dudes ain't cut for that, and a lot of dudes can't adapt to that. But I believe just you know, 50 is definitely one of them who would have did that, man. And I was looking at this little interview, which made me think about the book, because I was strolling online and I looked at this little interview that he had, and it was called 50 Cent on the Business of Fear, right? On the Business of Fear. So that is the major thing in prison that you will have to overcome, or you will have to suppress, or you would have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? That fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of getting hurt, the fear of the system, the fear of, you will have to be able to conquer that fear in order to survive in prison, because, you know, fear is going to be omnipresent, but you won't have to be able to overcome that in order to, you know, to move forward in prison, man. So I want to let y'all hear what he's saying on this, man. This is 50 Cent on the Business of Fear, and he's talking about the book and things of that he had inside the book and his perspective or whatnot. Let me see if I can get this right.
It's always been,
the book is really about fear, right, and overcoming fear, isn't it? And I just keep thinking fear can be quite good. You know, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop myself doing silly things.
You can have a slight paranoia that helps you be aware of situations, and even in the 48 Laws of Power that Robert wrote, there's some things in there that you might feel like are evil, but you need to be aware of them because someone else's intentions might be very well what that law of power is. You know, so like when I got a chance to talk to him, we even brought it down to the perspective of a person that's in a staff meeting that won't, is watching someone else raise their hand and answer a question that they know the answer to. And that means that person deserves to be ahead of you in life, because your fear of being wrong at that point is not allowing you to create your value in the workspace.
The book is really based and recounts your experiences of hustling and selling drugs in Southside Queens. And you can draw lessons for business in the staff room from that really completely different world.
The boss in the neighborhood doesn't see killing someone as it doesn't rule killing someone out as an option to expand business. When in corporate America, I've interacted with people that absolutely have intentions of killing the competition in a different way.
It's just not literally killing,
Right.
It's yeah. Have you overcome fear? I mean, you were shot 9 times in the year 2000. In terms of dealing with fear, I suppose you're not scared of anything after that.
Well, when you're in life-threatening situations, it makes you a little more conscious of death. You know, and the more that you are aware of your fate, the higher the probability you have a chance to live. So you're a little more.
You know, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality that you have to adapt to in prison. You know, normally you're gonna be scared, you know, of getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? More likely, you know, getting killed. But once you realize, when you're in prison, when you come to that realization that that is absolutely a possibility, it's nothing else you can do about it but either just take it head on and try to make sure that it don't happen to you. And if it do happen, it's gonna happen, you know, with you going down with a fight. You know, it's just like everybody in this world know we gonna die. We know we gonna die. We just don't know when we gonna die. But death is imminent, you know. But we don't know when we gonna die. So we move on about our day and about our life, not really thinking about that every day we gonna die, knowing that we living to die. But when you in prison, that, you know, the threat of death is always omnipresent, so you always thinking about it. But you have to come to some type of realization and some type of way to adapt your mind to be the same way that you is out here. You know you're gonna die, you just don't know when. And when you're in prison, you know that death is walking around you all the time, but you have to come to some type of understanding in your mind that I'm just not gonna worry about it. But if I feel the threat, if I feel the tension, the threat coming close to me, then I attack it head on. And whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen, because I can't change it. I can't change it. You know what I'm saying? I could just do my best and do my part and just don't worry about it, man. Because if it happens, it happens. You know. But like I always say, with me, I just took on the mentality: if it happens, you know, it ain't gonna happen with my hands in my pocket. That's for sure. I'm gonna be, you know, picking and poking right back. You know what I mean? We go together. You know what I'm saying? We go together. The worst case scenario, we go together. But, you know, that's the mentality that you got to have. So I can understand what he's saying. I can read between the lines of his mindset. This is why I say I believe, you know, that he would have survived in prison, you know, without a doubt in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't say without a doubt, because it was a doubt that I survived. But I just believe he has the mentality to survive. But there's no guarantees in prison. So I don't want to say that. But I think that, you know, he would most definitely hold his own in those situations.
Free. Like, I go into what Robert kind of identified as the core of my power, as me being in business situations and being the person with the least fear at the table. And that's because I weigh these things up against my biggest losses in my life. So, like, the loss of my mom is the biggest thing that I've experienced. So, walking into a room, even at the worst possible scenario, it won't damage me to the point or hurt as much as that hurt it. So I'll go in there in a secure space, able to speak and ask the questions. And I'd rather feel like I'm unaware for the moment within that those quarters than to feel like I'm unaware in a losing situation.
I mean, the book does describe some fairly nasty incidents. I mean, just in a chapter about the Hustler King, you slash the face of a rival's assistant who's out to hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back on all of that, I mean, how do you sort of feel? Because you've just moved so far away from that now.
Yeah, I did. But, you know, like, I think the things you go through make you who you are. So I don't regret those things. I don't regret them because I don't think I'd be who I am today if I wasn't exposed to those situations. If you ask me, would I, those are unfortunate situations that I've had to experience. And if I had a choice, I would have definitely went in a different direction. I might have went to go to school for business instead of having to go through this portion of my life. But,
tough lesson, yeah.
Yeah, but under those circumstances, when you're in an environment where you meet aggression with aggression, or you're deemed weak, and the weak becomes the prey, you gotta.
There it is right there. That right there alone is the prison mentality. You have to meet aggression with aggression. And actually in prison, you have to meet aggression with more aggression. You know what I'm saying? Because that is going to be the only thing they understand. And just like I said, when you don't, then you become the prey. You become the person that, this is what I've told y'all in several videos. If you let somebody take something from you in prison, then everybody is going to feel like they could take something from you. And I know to the outside world, people who never been in prison, you know, you might say that might seem far-fetched, but it's not. Because there's nothing in there but vultures and dudes that starving and dudes that have, you know, little to no hope and dudes that don't have no support. And if they know that this is a resource where they can go and take something and have very little or no pushback, then they come in and get it. You know what I'm saying? They come. I've seen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dudes and just extorting one person. Extorting one person until that one person just couldn't take it no more. Either check in or either, you know, do something to themselves or hang themselves. I've seen that. I've seen dudes get bullied and pressured into just taking their own life. They just hang themselves because they can't deal with that pressure and they have X amount of time to do and they feeling like this is going to be my life for the rest of the time I'm in here and I just don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's monumental pressure in there if you know, especially if you don't stand up. You know what I'm saying? And then you just have to get the courage, man, to stand up. You have to meet aggression with aggression. You have to meet violence with more violence. You have to be willing to do that in order to survive in a place like prison. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, but it's true. That's just what it is. You know, because of the environment. You know what I'm saying? And you may have somebody that come to prison and they come to prison for a traffic violation. You know, and that traffic violation can turn them into a killer to survive. They may have to turn into a killer to survive or to not go through things that people may try to put them through. You know what I'm saying? This is the prison life, man. This is why I preach not to go to prison, man. Not to put yourself in a position to go to prison. Not to don't even be in the conversation. If you're around somebody that doing anything illegal that you could be caught up in, you need to separate yourself away from them because this could possibly be, you know, your future, you know, being in prison and dealing with all of this type of foolishness and madness, man. And it's just crazy, but, you know, I can relate to what he's saying just like I did when I read the book. I can relate to the 48 Laws of Power because there's a lot of things in there that you can apply to life and survival skills and, you know, dealing with people, man, especially dealing with men. So, you know, that's why I say, you know, he has a high probability of surviving in prison, man.
Kind of back people off you at different points.
And it really felt like that in that.
Literally. Yeah. And when you're willing to go as far as further than the other guy, you always prevail. You always end up on top. It's like the kid in the schoolyard that doesn't want to fight always leads with a black eye because as soon as the other kid identifies he doesn't want to fight, he hits him.
But this is back to the negative view of human beings.
Yeah,
I mean, I never wanted to fight, but kids I did get hit at school a little bit,
Like,
but not very much.
But when they say no, I really don't want to do it. Pop, that's when you get hit.
Absolutely, and that's true. That's the same thing. Once you know you show a little, the slightest form of meekness is gonna be considered as weakness. You know what I'm saying? If you arguing with a dude in prison, or if dude say something smart to you in prison, if you don't come back aggressive, he gonna take that as weakness, and that's gonna encourage him. That's gonna embolden him to even get even more braver, because he's going by the looker-ons. He's going by, you know, the crowd. He going by he know people is watching. So when you show meekness, if a dude say, man, excuse me, man, watch out. If you don't hit him back with, man, what you mean watch out? You watch out. If you don't hit him back with that, then he might, you know, start mumbling some more stuff. Yeah, man, stay out of my way, man. What's wrong with you? Because now he done took your response as not aggressive enough to back up off of you, but more so to pursue you, and to either get points in the other people's eyes, or who looking and who listening. You know what I'm saying? It's an ego thing. And dudes want to really keep dudes off of them. So if they can find something weak in you that they can, you know, boost their ego, boost their reputation, boost their, you know, psyche, then that's what they're gonna do. So that's why you always gotta meet aggression with aggression. And in prison, you definitely gotta meet aggression with aggression. Yeah, because if you don't, man, it's coming at you, man. It's just coming at you.
Just gave the other guy enough confidence to hit you at that point. Especially when there's a bunch of kids behind him jumping up and down saying, whoop him.
There you go, right there.
You know, like those experiences.
It's the crowd, man. It's the, you know, want to impress, because they know people is looking and listening.
Even if I didn't want to fight, I didn't show them.
And then let's talk about the world of rap, which is a bizarre world, obviously, hip-hop. I have to ask you, why you have all these beefs with people? You just get into arguments with people all the time, feuds. What's going on?
The competitive nature of hip-hop has always been one of the driving forces, one of the elements in the art form that keeps it thriving. The youthful audience that's attracted to it has a low attention span, so it's always out with the old and with the new, as far as they're concerned. So the guy that comes into hip-hop music, you know, while we continuously use metaphors for things, I'll use the metaphor of a fighter. Fighter going to the actual gym, day 2, his coaches calling him champ. Because he weighs 154 pounds, he's watching Floyd Mayweather fight saying, I'm going to beat Floyd Mayweather one day. Or I'll be as good as Floyd Mayweather. When he doesn't even know how to fight at that point. He just begins his training. You know, and rappers psychologically are like fighters, where they condition themselves to believe they're as good as the guy that is in position at that point. So I'm constantly challenged. They come prematurely and I damage their careers, because when you compete with an artist that has a higher consistency than you, they match you up against that artist, the public, and then you just dwindle away. But I'm more fused than the average artist because I'm more vocal. I generate more interest, and I'm obviously in a space that they'd actually like to be in. See, when the director yells cut, none of my things go away. The big house is still there, the nice cars are there, the attractive women are there. When he yells cut to them, everything goes away. They write the life that they aspire to have, and I'm writing the struggle.
I want to ask you a last couple of points. Women and gays. What is it with rappers and women?
This is great.
You know, is this an affectation, the language?
No.
And the,
See, you know what
is it ironic or is it serious?
Because the song is 3 minutes before you reach an overkill point. You only have enough time to create a description. There's no time to develop cause and effect. There's no time to establish social standards or moral standards. So when you make reference to whore, do you know what I'm talking about? The average woman is out in a nightclub that hears that is not offended by it.
Right.
Because morally she knows that's not me he's talking about.
Right. And they can tell. The
right.
people who listen can tell the difference.
And if you look at female consumers of hip hop music, while these things are there, they don't have an issue with it.
They don't have an issue. I see. So it's people who just dip in and listen to two words.
Right. So now, if you say gays,
right. Well, the gays is the other one because not you personally, but the world of rap seems obsessed with it. It just seems to be this obsession. So it's the way rappers insult each other, the way Rick Ross insults you as producers of video. Your label's G Unit. He mocks Gay Unit and has you in a cartoon. And, I mean, it just seems a very odd way to. It's almost as though there's a kind of masculinity thing that's lying at the root of this. So the one fear that you all have is the fear of masculinity, of somehow losing masculinity.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it too. Like from that perspective, to say that you were weaker would be to say that you're actually gay. And I know some gay guys that'll whoop Rick Ross's ass. And it's not like with no problem. They're thinking the guy that is weak. That wants to actually be a woman. And then they say, oh, you're soft. That's his way of saying you're soft. He's not trying to disrespect gay people.
2 words, what do you fear now in your life?
I feel like I can't change, and that's that I'm misunderstood. My confidence is mistaken for arrogance constantly. People don't actually understand my intentions a lot of the time. Because what I've offered is myself. So there's artists out there that can beat me at doing different things, but not at being me. So once the public embraces me and says 50 is cool, or I like 50 Cent, can't nobody beat me at being that.
The book is written.
See, now, yeah, I was laughing at that when he said he knows some gay people that can whoop with. I know some too. But, yeah, but see, it's his mentality, man. You can see, just like with this interview, he was well prepared. He stayed ready, so he wasn't there to be ready. No matter what questions the dude threw at him, he was already on his thing. See, 50 has that mindset. He has that mindset where he can adapt and adjust. Now, I ain't never read his autobiography or nothing like that. There's a lot of things about him in the book, but I don't think he went that far in school. But look how far he went in life. Look how he adapted from, the rap world and all that comes with that. And, as you know him, he stayed in all types of stuff to now to, the TV and the movie world where he thriving as well. And then you could tell by his, the way he talk and how articulate he is that he, it didn't take book smarts. It's certain things and certain people have a way that they got this thing in them that they can adapt to their surroundings. They can adapt to their environment. This is why, like I say, he would probably adapt in prison and understand the life that's in prison and can deal with that. But a lot of people can't, because it's something that has to click in your head where you're not, like I say, in my personal opinion, you got a lot of dudes, it's like I say, you will not see fear in them. But in my personal opinion, I don't believe that there's no fear in them. I just believe that they have a shell on them and enough, outer performance to let you see what they want you to see, where you would not detect any fear. You understand? But I just believe that all people are created equal, man. You have the same thing in you that everybody else has in you. It's just whether you're willing to, use it, whether you're willing to activate it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, to activate it. You know what I'm saying? Certain people can activate their aggression. They can activate their violence. They can activate their, aggression out on people, when they have to. And that may not be them, but when it comes down to it. You ever met them people in life, man? They just so calm and so, easy going or whatever. And then if you just keep poking at them and then you just see them explode. Though that is basically what you have to do in prison. You have to let go your explosion and let people know that you're not to be played with, you're not to be taken advantage of, because you will get tried and people will try to take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you could go to prison for something small, but it could turn you into a killer to survive. You know what I'm saying? Or a potential killer to survive. I remember I watched this movie with, what's that dude who used to play Magnum PI? Tom Selleck. I remember I watched this prison movie with him. I think it's called Innocent Man or something like that. It's some, but he went to prison and he was innocent. But while he was in prison, he was getting pressed. He was getting pressed. He was getting pressed for his manhood. He was getting pressed for whatever. He was getting pressed. And this ain't a life that he came from. He came from the life on the street where he was doing whatever, and he got set up for something that he didn't even do. So in order for him to survive and to preserve his manhood, to stay the man that he was, he had to become aggressive. He had to do some things that he didn't even never, consider doing out in the real world. But now that he in this new environment, he in this new world, he understands that in order to get back out to the world that he came from, he's going to have to adapt to this world in here. And I think in that movie, man, I watched, I think it's called The Innocent Man, but he ended up, he ended up killing the dude in prison. You know what I'm saying? He ended up killing the dude in prison to keep the dude from killing him, or harming him. But wasn't in his character. But it had to become his mentality in order to survive. These is the type of positions that you will be put in prison, man. You know what I'm saying? Just in order to survive in there, in order to try to get back out here, because that's the main goal, is to try to get back out here. You understand? And some people will fold under that type of pressure and would have let whatever dude was trying to do to Tom Selleck do to them in order to, in their mind, just to make sure that they can get back out there and don't die. But you have to be willing to die in prison to preserve your manhood, to preserve your respect, to preserve your principles, your morals, the things that you stand on and the things that you believe in. You have to be willing to die. So the only way to avoid that is not to go to prison, because if you go to prison, you may be faced with these type of crossroads. So if you're not willing to die, in order to preserve what you believe in, man, prison is just another reason 1,042,000 not to go. There's, what I'm saying, there's millions of reasons not to go, but that's just one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you're going to be faced with things in there that most likely, that you won't be faced with out here in the free world, man. And but 50 Cent, man, he has that adaptability, man, where he can, I believe, no matter where you put him at, that he gonna find a way to get to the top of the mountain, man, one way or another, man, because he got that type of mentality that you need in prison, man. He has that out here in the free world. As you can see, the things that he's doing, the way he's thriving, the way he done had problems with any and everybody, but he steady has, kept moving along, man. And that's what it be in prison, man. You gonna have all these different obstacles, but you gonna have to have your own mentality that no matter what come at me, I'ma survive. No matter who come at me, I'ma survive. No matter when it come at me, I'ma survive. Because that's the mentality that you got to have. And that's the mentality that I see, in him, out here in the free world. He's moving like you would have to move in prison, That's no matter what's thrown at you, man, you're going to have to deal with it. And you don't know what's coming, but you know something is coming. You know what I'm saying? And you just going to have to stay ready and deal with it, man. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. If you get a chance to read the book, man, The 50th Law, man, with 50 Cent and Robert Greene, man, take a read of it, man. You can get some knowledge out of this, man. You can get, a mindset out of this. And that's what it comes down to. I think he has the mindset of survival. You know what I'm saying? You can get a mindset out of this. And, that's why I did a lot of reading. That's why I read books, like that, and other books. And as well, you get a chance to read 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, man. But, but anyway, I just wanted to just give my perspective on that, man, because I ran across it. And, like I said, I want to try to, share some type of insight, any way I can, man. And the way that I come to the knowledge that I have and learn the things I have, partially from reading books, partially from listening, partially from studying, partially from talking to older people who've already been through what I was in the process of going through. This is how you elevate your thinking, man, and this is how you, get your mindset. But Anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Shout out to 50 Cent, man. Shout out to Robert Green. And y'all, I see y'all in 24 hours, man. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for even indulging me and talking about this. I know y'all want them stories, but hey, you know, this is a story within itself, man, because it was a part of my journey, man. So y'all be safe out there, be smart, man, make good decisions, man, and by all means, man, boom, 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 boom. Duck them hooks, man. They out there. Bam.
The banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.